Okay, I'm about to do my presentation. Welcome. Here it is. Oops. All right. COVID pattern analysis in Washington State. This is my PowerPoint on my project for the final project that we're doing. I'm doing COVID pattern analysis in Washington State. It's basically I had some mix-ups happen and I'm doing my project alone. So basically I had instruction from Dr. Santiago to do a similar analysis that we did for Lab 4, only with the COVID in Washington State on the county level. So the introduction here, I'm going to introduce the question as well as what we want to happen from the question. I have a nice image here of the time of Corona and how we should love each other with these birds here. So, are there clusters of COVID-19 cases per capita in Washington State on the county level? So that's the question I'm trying to answer. Do we want to know if it's is it random where the COVID cases are happening, or is there a reason? Is there a clustering happening? We want to reject the null hypothesis. Oh, oops. We want to reject a null hypothesis, which is what would be true if it was up to random chance. The null hypothesis says that there is no clustering, that it's a random chance that this is happening. If we reject the null hypothesis, we ponder the reason for these clusters. So we want to know, what are the reasons for these clusters? Is there some sort of social thing happening? Is it because of geography? Is it because of certain political aspects? What's going on? So the study area. Here I have a map of Washington with the counties all nicely named, and the capital of the counties. And we see that this data is sourced from Policy Map. That's where I got the data for the COVID cases per capita for the counties in Washington State. And the framework for what we're doing, I'm going to add the data to ArcMap, and basically we're going to do a statistical analysis, which involves what we're going to do a local Moran's eye test and a global Moran's eye test. We're going to do the global first to see if there is any clustering, and that shows us that it's not up to random chance, these cases. Then I'm going to do a local Moran's test, which will show us where these clusters are in the county level. And once I do those two statistical tests, we can analyze these results and start looking at why maybe we see the clusters in the places that we do. And the results. So here I have, this is the results of the global Moran's eye test. We see that it's less than 5% chance that this clusters because of random chance. We see that it's most likely clustered. We have a z-score of 2.17, which is decently high. It's not outstandingly high, but it gives us a pretty low p-value of 0.029%. So that's 2.9556% chance this could have happened at a random chance. Over here we see some work I did in ArcMap. So here, this is going to be the clustering on the county level for low clusters, non-significant, and then high clusters. So we see that there are clusters of these cases. Down here, we see that these are the cases per capita per county in Washington State. So this isn't the total number of cases, it's the total number of cases per 100,000. Discussion and conclusions. So we're going to reject the null hypothesis just because we had a decently high z-score and a reasonably low p-value. The cases of COVID in Washington are clustered, and this is not due to a random chance. So now that we know that, we probably want to predict reasons why it might be clustered. One reason I predict is phase changes happening in different counties. So different counties are opening and closing different rates. So this could be causing increased rates of exposure and less social distancing, as well as social distancing practices are being used better and more commonplace in urban areas as compared to rural areas. So this could be a factor that plays to clustering of COVID cases in Washington state. And really, I want to just leave it up to you. What do you think could be causing clusters in Washington state? And that's going to be the end of my slideshow. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something from the presentation.